Raise your hand if you've ever faked an orgasm. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, I'm Dr. Holly, a sex and relationship therapist, and today we're talking about something that I think everybody needs to know about, and perhaps this is something that you are aware of but didn't know that there was a term for it, and that is the orgasm gap. Why is it that heterosexual men are having orgasms so much more frequently than women? What does this say about our culture, and what can we do about it? I know this is something that personally really bothers me, and I kind of hope that it bothers some of you watching as well, so let's jump right into it. So what is the orgasm gap? The orgasm gap refers to the consistent finding that in heterosexual encounters, men are far more likely to orgasm than women. A study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior looked at over 52,000 U.S. adults, including straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual men and women, and here's what they found. 95% of heterosexual men were the most likely to say that they usually or almost always had an orgasm during sex. Next were gay men at 89% and bisexual men at 88%. This was followed by 86% of lesbian women who shared the same sentiment. But then there was a huge drop with only 66% of bisexual women and 65% of heterosexual women who reported always or almost always having an orgasm during sex. That's right, heterosexual women had the lowest orgasm rates out of every group in the study. So what is this about? No, it's not about the biology. Research shows that women orgasm more during masturbation and during same-sex encounters than with male partners. That suggests that the issue isn't about the body or the genetics, but it's about the context. So what exactly is going on here? Well, there are a number of sociocultural factors which influence why men are so much more likely to have orgasms than women. For one, in heterosexual sex, penis and vagina or penetrative intercourse is often defined as the only real way to have sex, when in fact there are so many more pleasurable ways to experience sex and to experience orgasm. So for one, we might need to look beyond just the PIV or penis and vagina intercourse. Additionally, most women require clitoral stimulation in order to achieve orgasm. In fact, one study found that 18% of women reported that they were able to orgasm from just penetration alone, whereas 36% reported that they required clitoral stimulation in order to achieve orgasm, and another 36% said that though clitoral stimulation wasn't required, it did make sex feel a whole lot better. Another factor is women feeling less entitled to pleasure than men. If you are a woman who grew up in the US, then you were likely socialized to believe that sex was for men and specifically for men's pleasure. That being said, in heterosexual encounters, a woman's pleasure or woman's orgasm isn't really high on the list of priorities. Other factors include media misrepresentation, over-reliance on what we see in adult films, and unfortunately, faking orgasms to protect the male ego. Raise your hand if you've ever faked an orgasm. Unfortunately, so many of us women have done so because we feel like it is really the easier thing to do. By faking an orgasm, we can naturally end our sexual experience without hurting our partner's feelings. Though that might seem like the easy answer in the short term, what it does in the long term is teaches the men that we're having sex with that what they are doing is working, as opposed to doing what might seem more difficult in the moment, which is teaching our partner what we really enjoy. So unfortunately, all of those sociocultural factors can really influence this orgasm gap that we see happening in our society. So how do we close the gap and help more women experience orgasm? Well, according to the research, the women who more frequently did reach orgasm did share a few things in common. They received more oral sex, their last sexual encounter lasted longer, they felt more emotionally connected and satisfied in their relationship, and they were more likely to ask for what they want in bed. They also tended to include things like deep kissing, manual stimulation, oral sex, sexy talk, lingerie, and expressing love during sex. So what does this tell us? Pleasure isn't just about biology or gender, it's about behavior, communication, and context. And when we prioritize those things, everyone's more likely to get off. Also, clitoral stimulation is key, so make sure you keep that in mind. So yes, the statistics sound sad, but the good news is the orgasm gap isn't inevitable. Sex is a learned behavior and a cultural phenomenon, which means that we can change it with better education, deeper communication, and a focus on real mutual pleasure. If you've been watching this and you'd like more tips on how to use your voice to ask for what you want in the bedroom, go ahead and check out my video on how to communicate better about sex, which I will link somewhere on the screen around here for you to check out. Also, as we wrap up, I'd love to hear in the comment section what you plan to do to close the orgasm gap. What can you do to do your part? Are you going to start asking for what you want? Are you going to better learn your body so you can communicate that? Are you going to stop faking orgasms? Please let me know in the comments what you'd like to do so that you can do your part to close the orgasm gap. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on sexual health and wellness. And as always, feel free to share this video with someone whom you think might benefit from it. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and remember, you deserve a healthy, happy, and pleasurable life.